Greetings from Greece, friends. I'm here on a yoga retreat, and I couldn't be here and not take advantage of this beautiful space. We have a free day today to create a flow for you guys. So grab any props that you need. We are not using anything specifically, but if you want to grab something for your practice, as usual, block is pretty helpful. Then go ahead and grab those props. Feel free to pause the video so that you can go do that and join me here on your mat. So for today's resilient flow, we're starting in a child's pose, sinking our hips back towards the heels, letting our arms reach long down the mat. If your forehead can rest, feel free to allow your forehead to rest. If it is connected with the mat, if you'd like to, a little bit of movement from side to side. Allowing some deep inhales and exhales to fill up the rib cage, the throat, all the way up to the crown of the head. The exhales clearing any energy, any stale energy that's still in the body out. As we begin to move the body, we'll do that even more so. And find some stillness. Tent the hands to where you're up on your fingertips. Walk them forward so that the shoulders shrug up around the ears a little bit. And then begin to walk them off to the right side. Allow your arms then to rest down on the mat. As we take some breaths into the curve of our spine on the left side of our body, into the rib cage. Anchoring down through the left hip a little bit more. Then lift the palms, coming back up to the fingertips. Spider walk them over through center, over to the left side, doing the same thing. Allowing some opening down the right side of the body as we press the right hip, leg, sit bone down back towards the earth. You can allow the arms to rest down on the mat. Let your face and jaw soften. I typically find that's an area that I'm clenched in and don't even know it as I move through my practice. And then lift the palms away from the floor. Walk back through center. And gaze up between the thumbs and pour your weight forward. Palms then come flat on the earth. We're going to rock ourselves towards our thumbs. Let the heart soften as we lift the heels slightly up off the mat. Let the hips drop a little bit. If this does not feel good on the low back, lift the hips up a little bit higher. And then push the hips back towards the heels, sinking back into more of an active child's pose, so not all the way down. And then we're going to ripple through the spine. Allow the rib cage to soften towards the earth, arms strong as we lift our heels up. And then back and forth. So only going as deep as feels okay on that sacral spine, that point where our hips and our low back meet. Just allowing the hip flexors a little bit of movement. Let's move through one more time. Lift up. Press back. In downward facing dog, pour the weight into the hands as we tuck the toes and shift our hips up and back. Create some movement here in your down dog. Let the head hang between the biceps. If you'd like to, shake the head from side to side. And begin to walk the palms back towards the feet. Bend the knees. Shift the weight into the heels. Let the upper half hang heavy. Arms can hang by the sides. Again, if you'd like to, movement shifting the chest from one thigh to the other thigh. Then come back through stillness in the center, weight in the heels. Begin to extend the legs as we roll the spine up. Hands come high. Right hand's going to encircle left wrist. Lift up and over to the right. Back up through center, switching sides. Left hand encircles right wrist. Up and over to the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, fold forward. Walk the palms back into downward facing dog. Again, a little pedal of the feet. Begin to walk the toes to touch. Shift the heels up high. And then shift over to the edge of your right foot. And then back up through center. Shift over to the edge of your left foot. And just going back and forth Again, keeping this controlled, feeling stretch in the side body and not pain in the low back. Then begin to walk the feet to the palms. This time come to the top of the mat. Draw your fingertips to your shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise all the way up, sweep the hands up overhead. Bend the knees, engage the glutes, skull post the arms, tip back. You can even bring the elbows down a little bit further. Again, no pain in the lumbar spine, just feeling opening in the chest. Then press the legs straight, hands high. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Fold, step your left foot to the back of your space, low Anjaneyasana, keeping the left knee off the earth and the right knee over right ankle. Now we're going to move through a little cow-cat spine here. Inhale, drop through the left hip, lift your heart. And then as you exhale, I want you to think of pulling back through the right heel and knitting the rib cage together, lifting up high on the left toes. So this right leg doesn't move. But inhale, drop through the left hip, lift your heart. Exhale, pull up through the left hip. Drag back through the right heel, but keep it glued to the mat. One more time, drop down. Lift the heart. Now this time we're going to extend the right leg, wide pyramid pose. Drop the forehead towards the shin. Still knitting up through the rib cage. And then begin to bend the right knee. Plant the palms. Step forward into an active chair. So we want our feet a little bit wider, about hip width distance. Bend the knees. Reach the hands up. We're going to exhale, kind of fold, bring the hands between the thighs, reach back. And then we're coming back up. So inhale here. Exhale. Extend the legs, reach back with the arms. Inhale, chair. Exhale, extend the legs, reach back with the arms. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold, begin to heel toe the feet to touch. Halfway lift. Fold, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Repeating that same process, left knee over left ankle. Begin to drop down through the right hip, lift the heart, inhale. Exhale, lift the right hip, knit through the rib cage, coming up high on the right toes. Inhale, drop down through the hips, extend through the front body. Exhale, you want to think drag back with the left heel, but keep it stuck on the earth as we round and dome the back. One more time to lower. This time begin to extend fully through the left leg, wide pyramid, dropping back through the right heel, letting your forehead come towards the shin. Bend back into the left knee, right foot steps. Again, we want a little bit wider stance with the feet lined up with the hips, hands high. This time as we fold, straighten the legs, reach the arms backwards, palms facing the earth, squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then inhale, bend the knees, sweep the hands forward, chair pose. Exhale, fly the arms back, straighten through the legs, keep the spine straight. One more time, inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten the legs, fly the arms back, lift through the sitting bones, and then come all the way up to stand. Right hand encircles the left, lift up and over, sending the left hip out towards the side. Inhale through center, same thing, other side. It's hot here in this room. Inhale through center, exhale, fold. Move through halfway lift. Fold. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Low Anjaneyasana, fingertips to the earth. Inhale, lift the heart, drop your left hip. Exhale, knit through the rib cage, pull back through the heel, dome the upper back. Two more times with that last time, landing in wide pyramid. Here we go, drop the hips, lift the heart, staying on the fingertips. Straighten the right leg, pull back with the hips, wide pyramid. Straight away, rebend the right knee, plant the palms, this time moving into three-legged down dog. Sweep the right leg up and back. Open through the hip, bend the knee. Move through fallen triangle. Let's tap the left elbow first, and then extend fully through the leg. Left palm reaches up, ground down through the right palm. Left hand back down to the earth, three-legged down dog, sweep up, sweep back. Knee comes into the nose. Step forward between the hands, spin the back foot flat, reverse warrior. Strong legs, reach up and back as we open up through the right side body. Spin towards the side, star pose. Straighten the right leg, turn the toes in. Inhale, hands high. Exhale, straddle, come on down. Reach back with the fingertips, let the head lower so that we have reverse down dog arms. Instead of reaching forward, we're reaching back. Walk the palms forward, lift yourself up halfway. Turn towards your right foot, angle those toes forward. Drop the left knee down, coming all the way into a low Anjaneyasana. Hands up high. Palms down to the inside of the right foot. Heel toe that right foot slightly wider off to the edge of the mat. And we'll move left foot to that same side, but on the left. Active squat. So wider than our chair pose. Exhale, lift the glutes, reach back with the hands. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, do it again. Dip the head low. Inhale, active squat. So we don't want to move the head too far upwards and downwards so we don't get that whooshing feeling. Last time, active squat. Pause here. We're going to interlace our thumbs, just our thumbs above our head. Spread the fingers, pull apart with those thumbs so we have active arms. 2, 1, rise up. Keep those thumbs pulling. Reach up and over to the right. Up through center. Reach up and over to the left. Up through center. Forward fold, release the thumbs, heel toe your feet back to touch. So repeat that process on the left side with some slight variations. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Low Anjane with our knee lifted. Inhale, drop the right hip, lift the heart. Exhale, knit the rib cage. Think of squeezing the inner thighs together as we dome the upper back, but keep the left knee bent. 2 more times. This last time, we will move into wide pyramid as we exhale. Straighten the left leg, knit the rib cage, lower the forehead towards the shin. Rebend the left knee, plant the palms. 3-legged down dog, sweep up, sweep back. Open through the hip. And remember that knee to elbow, opposite side tap. We're going to pause before we extend to fallen triangle. Right foot comes out. Shift the weight to the left palm, reach the right palm up. Bring the right palm down, sweep the left leg up and back. Step forward as we spin the back foot flat. Anchor through the feet for reverse warrior. Inhale, reach up. Opening through the left side. Sweep both hands through, up, star pose. Anchored through the feet, fold. This time we want down dog arms. We're going to extend the arms forward, let the head hang between the biceps. Heavy head. Stretch through the arms, through the shoulders. Halfway lift. Fold and turn towards the left foot. Pivot up on the back toes. Drop the right knee down to the earth. Untuck the toes for low Anjane. Hands up. Tuck the back toes under. Bring the hands to the inside of the left foot as we walk it wide. We're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right pinky as we sit down into our active squat. So we want to think about this outside plane of the body. Sit down low. Exhale, straighten the legs. Arms come beside you. We want to keep the spine more flat. Okay? And then inhale back into that active squat. Extend the legs. Reach back. Straighten. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, hips go back, heart goes forward, spine stays long. Active squat. And we're going to interlace the thumbs. This time take awkward thumb on top. It's whichever one doesn't land naturally. And then press high. Pull yourself over to the right. Breathe out. Inhale through center. Pull yourself over to the left. Breathe out. Back through center. Release the thumbs. Bring the hands to the heart. Heel toe your feet to touch. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Fold, step the left foot to the back of the mat. Adding on, fingertips, lift the heart, drop the left hip, knit the rib cage, cinch through the inner thighs. Up high on the toes. Inhale, drop. Exhale, knit round and squeeze. Inhale, drop, lift the heart. Straighten into wide pyramid, flatten out the hands if you can, or bring them to blocks as we heavy the head. Stay here for a few breaths as we've gotten deeper and deeper into the hamstring. Rebend the right knee. Sweep up, sweep back, three-legged down dog. Open through the hip. Twist underneath. Take that pause before we move into fallen triangle, then extend the right legs. Shift the weight to the right palm as the left palm goes high. Left palm down. Right leg up and back. Reverse warrior. So right foot anchors into the earth. Spin the back foot flat. Strong legs. Rise up. Reach up and back. Star pose. Sweep through center. Pivot, straighten. Reach high. Straddle. Come on down. Give yourself that halfway lift. Then begin to bend into the left knee, skanda, towards the back of the mat. Walk the left hand. Again, use blocks if you need to bring the ground up closer to you. We're walking the left hand to where the tricep and the inner knee will meet, squeeze, and create a lock. Weight in the left hand and foot as we reach the right hand up. Engagement through the glutes. Right palm down. Now I want you to make this action shifting from skanda to low lunge happen through the hips here. We're going to pivot in the feet. So switch, 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 drag, pivot, lower, untuck, Anjaneyasana. Palms to the heart, thumbs pressing into the center of the chest. Untuck the back toes. Shift the weight to the right foot. Stand up, one-legged Tadasana. Knee in towards the chest, flex through the left foot, inhale, hands up. Flex the palms like you're pushing a wall away from you as you bring them down level with the heart and push your left foot forward. Back into Dekasana, airplane pose. So shift the palms down towards the earth. Squeeze the shoulder blades, heart lifted higher than your hips. Try not to dip down and crash your airplane. Step the left foot behind the right as we bend into the right knee. Curtsy lunge. Squeeze inner thighs. If you'd like to, left arm can come down to the outer edge of the right knee. Lift up through the right hand. Curtsy with a twist. Now, heel toe this back foot in just a couple of inches so that when we rise up and straighten the legs, we can take right hand to encircle left wrist and then shift the hips over to the left. Back up through center. Switch hands. Squeeze inner thighs. Shift hips over to the right. Back up through center. Uncross the legs. Come back to Tadasana. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften the knees, forward fold. Halfway lift. Fold. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Low Anjaneyasana. Coming to the fingertips, lift the heart, drop your right hip. Exhale, cinch to the inner thighs, dome your upper back, and knit your rib cage. Coming up high on those right toes. 2 more times with that third time, landing in wide pyramid. 1 more. Our last pose is wide pyramid here. Rock back, where we'll stay for a few breaths. Deepening that hamstring stretch. Allowing ourselves to fully surrender into the pose. Not locking out the left leg though. Rebend the left knee, palms to the earth, sweep up, sweep back. Open through the hip, bend the knee. As we move through that fallen triangle, we want to take that pause, knee to elbow. Boop. Then extend. Shift the weight to the left palm. Roll open through the hips. Right hand up. Right hand down. left hand leg sweeps up and back. Draw through anchor, pivot back foot, reverse warrior. Star pose. Shift the toes in, reach the hands high. Swan dive down into your straddle. Let the head hang heavy. And then shift over to the right as we bend the right knee. Walk the right arm so that we can snuggle the shoulder into the inner knee. We open through the inner thigh. Press the knee into the arm into the knee. Lift the left hand for the skenda twist. Again, we want to think long, open chest, not rounding through the upper back and collapsing. Now remember, we want all this to come from the hips when we shift the shape into low lunge towards the front. Shift it, think like a little spider. Drag the right hand through, coming up on the back toes as we pivot on the left heel. Right knee down, inhale, hands high. Palms pressed together, thumbs to the chest. One-legged Tadasana. This is my bad leg, so let's see if we can do this. Whoop, there we go. Knee into the chest, flex through the right toes. Inhale, hands up. Flex the wrists, palms, push that imaginary wall away from you as we extend the right leg. Breath in. Breath out, wobble, wobble. Sweep the right leg up, back, around behind you. Curtsy lunge, dipping through both knees. If you'd like to, right arm can snuggle to the inside of that left leg. Inner thighs are hugging in together, so we keep all this shape here, right here centered. Right hand down, left hand up. If you're taking that shape. Now we want to start to heel toe those right toes in just a little bit to aid us in standing up with cross legs. Right hand to left wrist. Reach up and over to the right. Shift the hips to the left. Switch. Lifting rib cage away from the hips, then shifting the hips to the side. Back up through center. Uncross the ankles, come to stand wide legs, hands high. Active squat. As I question my own sanity. Inhale, hands up. Exhale through center. Shift the hips back. Drop the head, lift through the tailbone. Squeeze that core in. Inhale, active squat. Exhale, it's like a kettlebell swing for those of you that work out. So we think swing through center. Bend through the knees. One last time, swing through center. Rebend the knees. And we got to do 3 on the outside now. Palms face the earth. Lift the hips, keeping the spine more straight, activating that back line of the body. Inhale through here. Exhale, shift. Heart forward, hips back. Squeeze through the heels. One more. Dripping sweat, guys. Dripping sweat. Active squat. Just to reset everything. Forward fold. Heel toe those feet in. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Chaturanga, if you'd like one. This is the only chaturanga we've done the entire class. Downward facing dog. I think I'll put this up on YouTube as a chaturanga less flow. So if you want to skip that and make it a pure chaturanga less flow, do it. Right leg up, half pigeon, move through, anchor, lengthen, square off, then come on down. Good work, guys. Man. We start to slow down the breath. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. If you need to release some heat. You can begin to sleep your pigeon if you'd like to bring it down a little bit further, if you haven't already, for 5 more breaths. Walk up to the hands, just a little bit at a time. Maybe take a couple of breaths to get there as we extend through the arms, lift the heart, tuck the back toe, and move through three-legged down dog if you'd like to flush out the right leg. Dropping the toes down. Move through the other side, lift the left leg, open through the hip if you'd like that little open hip take before we come down to half pigeon on this left side. Finding the alignment first. That means right hip rolls down. We lift up. Then we begin to extend. Pausing for a moment to take adjustments. Settling with care into any depth. Shifting attention to our breath. One palm at a time, press the heart up. This time we're just going to roll over to the left side as we swing the right leg around. Extend both legs out in front of you. We're going to shake the legs, especially if you like to take that clearing three-legged down dog. This gives the left leg the same opportunity. Just scoot your booty forward, draw the knees into the heart as we rock back on the back. Eagle the right leg over the left leg. So we're just going to cross the legs. You don't have to take the extra wrap with the feet. Bring the hands down to anchor and then just shift your hips over a little to the right. Let the knees fall over to the left, and you can keep your arms anchored or begin to goalpost them on the earth if you'd like to shift your gaze to the right. And begin to unwind the legs. Roll back up onto the feet. Lift through the hips to recenter. Wrap left leg around the right. Anchor the hands back down. Then shift both of your hips over to the left. Pick the knees up into the chest and move them over to the right side of the mat. Again, we can keep the palms down or we can goalpost the arms on the earth. The eagle legs with supine twist. So that's why we shift the hips to take care that we're not in a back bend in the low back. It's a little bit more intense. So if it feels yucky on your low back, then just uncross the legs and shift your hips back towards center a little bit more, or over to the left, so that the twist is not so much pressure on that low back. And begin to unwind the legs, just uncross them. Bring the knees back up through center with the feet on the earth. Recenter the hips in the middle of the mat. Lift your knees up towards your armpits. Lift the feet up and the hands will find happy baby. You can keep it nice and loose if you'd like to, rocking from side to side. Back through center. A gentle inversion of feet up, hands by the side, toes pulling back towards the face as you allow your shoulders to rest on the earth. If you'd like to take a Shavasana, bend the knees, extend the legs down the mat into Shavasana. If you are done with your practice, draw your knees into the heart, wrap your hands around, begin to rock and roll up to a seat. And I only move past Shavasana because it's just a 30-minute practice, so feel free to close out your practice however you need, whether it's Shavasana and meditation, or simply coming to a seated position, moving forward off the mat with just an intention of mindfulness throughout your day. And here at Greece, we have Chris and Amanda, who are our instructors, and I love how they've ended class with saying that we're clearing out the space. And yogis, we often like to do things in increments of 3 or 7 or 108. So we take 3 clearing breaths. with our arms circling us up and around as if to clear the space out around us so that we can move forward with clean energy, right? Cleared space, cleared heart. So let's do that together. Inhale, hands up. Palms pressed together, hands back to the heart. Do it again. Breathe in like we're gathering up the good energy to pull it down into us and exhale out the negative energy. One last time. Gather it up. Pull it in and clear it out. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me here today at Resilient Soul Yoga. I'm Lynn. I'll do another one of these from Greece because, I mean, how could you not? This place is so beautiful.